Dungeons & Dragons is a tabletop role-playing game that has been around for nearly 5 decades, having been created in 1974. It allows people to get together to create worlds, adventures, and friendships while playing it. The latest edition is Dungeons & Dragons 5th Edition, or D&D 5e. In this edition, as well as others, there are several classes you can play as, each with a plethora of abilities to strengthen them. With each class, assumptions have been made about each one, both good and bad. In this series, I'll be going over each class in the 5th edition Player's Handbook to discuss the class and some positive characteristics about each one.
Hello, we are here for episode 2 officially of the Cover Your Class. The second class we're covering is Barbarian. One of the most, if not the most, aggressive class there is. They are meant for battle, like they are essentially made for combat encounters. Not like... So just to read the first line here, a tall human tribesman strides through a blizzard, draped in fur and hefting his axe. He laughs as he charges toward the frost giant who dared poach his people's elk herd. A half-orc snarls at the latest challenger to her authority over the savage tribe, ready to break his neck with her bare hands as she did to the last 6 rivals. Like they are strong. They are physically strong. As you can see, their hit dice is 1d12 per barbarian level. They have the highest hit dice out of the classes. At first level it's 12 plus your con. At higher levels you roll a d12 and add your con modifier. Proficiencies: light armor, medium armor, shields. Weapons: simple weapons, martial weapons. No tools. Strength and con saving throws. Then you can choose 2 skills out of animal handling, athletics, intimidation, nature, perception, and survival. In terms of equipment, you start with the following equipment in addition to the equipment granted by your background. You get a great axe or any martial weapon. You get 2 hand axes or any simple weapon, and you get an explorer's pack and 4 javelins. I liked the maul because it does quite a bit of damage. I think it does like 2d6 or something. It does a lot. So the first ability you get is Rage. In battle you fight with primal ferocity on your turn. You can enter a rage as a bonus action. While raging, you gain the following benefits if you aren't wearing heavy armor. You have advantage on strength checks and strength saving throws. When you make a melee weapon attack using strength, you gain a bonus to the damage roll that increases as you gain levels as Barbarian, as shown in the rage damage column of the Barbarian table. You have resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage. If you are able to cast spells, you can't cast them or concentrate on them while raging. Your rage lasts for 1 minute. It ends early if you are knocked unconscious or if the turn ends and you haven't attacked a hostile creature since your last turn, or taken damage since then. You can also end your rage on your turn as a bonus action. Once you have raged a number of times on the rage column of the Barbarian table, you must finish the long rest before you rage again. So let's just go here. As you can see, the amount of rages you can do and the rage damage that accompanies it. So you can do 2 rages at first and second. You can do 3 until 5th, and it just goes up from there to a maximum of unlimited at 20th level. Then for the damage, it's 2 all the way to 8th, 3 at 15th, 4, and then 4 for the rest of the levels. You get unarmored defense. While you are not wearing any armor, your armor class equals 10 plus your dexterity modifier plus your constitution modifier. You can use a shield and still gain this benefit. Which I think it's cool that you can use a shield. It's just for armor specifically. Reckless attack. Starting at 2nd level, you can throw aside all concern for your defense to attack with fierce desperation. When you make your first attack on your turn, you can decide to attack recklessly. Doing so gives you advantage on melee weapon attack rolls using strength during this turn, but attacks can't roll against you have advantage until your next turn. So it's one of those things where while your opponents have advantage on you, you get advantage this turn on them. So as long as you have enough health, enough hit points, maybe a little bit more in the AC, the benefit is just you go all out on your attack. Danger sense. At 2nd level, you gain an uncanny sense of when things nearby aren't as they should be, giving you an edge when you dodge away from danger. You have advantage on dexterity saving throws against effects that you can see, such as traps and spells. To gain this benefit, you can't be blinded, deafened, or incapacitated. Which I think is pretty cool. Like, if your rogue fails to disarm the trap, you can roll with advantage to dodge out of the way of the trap. Then the primal path, it's the same thing as the bard colleges. You choose one of like 2 or 3 paths and you go from there, which I'll go through them at the end. Ability score improvements. At 4th level, 8th, 12th, 16th, and 19th, you can increase one ability score of your choice by 2 or 2 ability scores by 1. But you can't increase a score above 20 using this feature. Also, instead of taking any ability score increase, you can take 1 feat of your choice, which I think is a cool thing you can do. Extra attack. Beginning at 5th level, you can attack twice instead of once whenever you take the attack action on your turn. So you can take 2 attacks starting at 5th level. Fast movement, starting at 5th level, your speed is increased by 10 feet while you aren't wearing heavy armor, which is cool. Which is very nice, you can get to your opponents faster at 5th level. Feral instincts. By 7th level, your instincts are so honed that you have advantage on initiative rolls. Additionally, if you are surprised at the beginning of the combat and aren't incapacitated, you can act normally on your first turn, but only if you enter your rage before doing anything else on that turn. So that's cool. You have advantage on initiative rolls, and if you're surprised at the beginning of combat and are not incapacitated, you can act normally as long as you rage. Then brutal critical. At 9th level, you can roll 1 additional weapon damage die when determining the extra damage for a critical hit with a melee attack. This increases 2 additional dice at 13th and 3 additional dice at 17th, which is insane for like any boss battle you do. Then you can see them like right there and right there again. Then Relentless Rage. Starting at 11th level, your rage can keep you fighting despite grievous wounds. If you drop to 0 hit points while you're raging and don't die outright, you can make a DC 10 Constitution saving throw. If you succeed, you drop to 1 hit point instead. Each time you use this feature at the first, the DC increases by 5. When you finish a short rest, the DC resets to 10. So at 11th level, if you drop to 0, you roll a die, at least while you're raging, and don't die outright. You can roll a die if it's 10 or higher on your Constitution saving throw. You drop to 1 instead, and you don't die, which is nice. It just increases by 5 every time you do it after the DC. Brutal Critical, I already read. Then Persistent Rage. Beginning at 15th level, your rage is so fierce that it ends early only if you fall unconscious or if you choose it to end. So you are so angry and so filled with rage that your rage doesn't end unless you choose for it to end or you die. Or you fall unconscious, I should say. Just when you drop to 0, really. Then Indomitable Might. Beginning at the 18th level, if your total strength check is less than your strength score, you can use that score in place of the total. So it's just, you can use, if you roll less than your strength ability score, you can use that instead of the roll you used for any strength check, which is neat, because your strength score is going to be really high by 18th level. Generally, I've seen a lot of DMs give buffs or some way to increase it by 18th level, so it should be really high by then. Primal Champion. At 20th level, you embody the power of the wilds. Your strength and constitution scores increase by 2. Sorry, increase by 4. I can't read. Your maximum for those scores is now 24. Then you got the Primal Paths. I'm going to pause real quick and get the other one for you. So I ended up just going to a PDF of the player's handbook. I don't know why I didn't do this first, but here we are. So first up, the Path of the Berserker. For some barbarians, rage is a means to an end, that end being violence. The Path of the Berserker is a path of untrammeled fury, slick with blood. As you enter the Berserker's rage, you thrill in chaos of battle, heedless of your own health or well-being. First ability, Frenzy. Starting when you choose this path at 3rd level, you can go into a frenzy when you rage. If you do so, for the duration of your rage, you can make a single melee weapon attack as a bonus action on each of your turns after this one. When your rage ends, you suffer 1 level of exhaustion, as described in Appendix A. So you are just so focused on attack that you can do another attack as a bonus action. That mixed with the extra attack right here, next to it, you make a total of 3 attacks on your turn, which is insane. Next up, Mindless Rage. Beginning at 6th level, you can't be charmed or frightened while raging. If you are charmed or frightened when you enter rage, the effect is suspended for the duration of the rage. So it has a few levels to it. Like 1, you can't be charmed or frightened while raging. And if you are when you go into rage, the effect basically ends for the duration of the rage. You know, like it'll come back after you top out of it, but while you are, it basically ends. Intimidating Presence. Beginning at 10th level, you can use your action to frighten someone with your menacing presence. When you do so, choose one creature that you can see within 30 feet of you. If the creature can see or hear you, it must succeed on a Wisdom saving throw. DC equal to 8 plus your proficiency bonus plus your charisma modifier, or be frightened of you until the end of your next turn. On subsequent turns, you can use your action to extend the duration of this effect on the frightened creature until the end of your next turn. This effect ends if the creature ends its turn out of line of sight or more than 60 feet away from you. If the creature succeeds on its saving throw, you can't use this feature on that creature again for 24 hours. So you frighten someone. Honestly, I think it would be better if they allowed you to use your strength, but at the same time it makes sense for it to be charisma. That's really only my beef with it. And honestly, I don't see myself using it too much. Anyways, next up, Retaliation. Starting at 14th level, when you take damage from a creature that is within 5 feet of you, you can use a reaction to make a melee weapon attack against a creature. Okay, against that creature. So it's basically, if you get hit, you can use a reaction to hit that creature back. It's not that bad. It's not too bad. Then, Path of the Totem Warrior. First up, Spirit Seeker. Yours is a path that seeks attunement with the natural world, giving you a kinship with beasts. You gain the ability to cast the Beast Sense and speak with animals spells, but only as rituals. Next up, Totem Spirit. At 3rd level, when you adopt this path, you choose a Totem Spirit and gain this feature. You must make or acquire a physical totem object, an amulet or similar adornment that incorporates fur or feathers, claws, teeth, or bones of the totem animal. At your option, you also gain minor physical attributes that are reminiscent of your totem spirit. For example, if you have a bear totem spirit, you might be unusually hairy and thick-skinned. Or if your totem is the eagle, your eyes turn bright yellow. I think that's pretty cool. Just like the little, physical change with it. Your totem animal might be an animal that is related to those listed here, but more appropriate to your homeland. For example, you could choose hawk or vulture in place of an eagle, which I think is cool. You got bear. While raging, you have resistance to all damage except psychic damage. That is ridiculously overpowered. You resist any that's not psychic. That is ridiculously overpowered. Eagle. While you're raging and aren't wearing heavy armor, other creatures have disadvantage on opportunity attack rolls against you, and you can use the dash action as a bonus action on your turn. The spirit of the eagle makes you into a predator who can weave through the fray with ease. Then wolf. While you're raging, your friends have advantage on melee attack rolls against any creature within 5 feet of you that is hostile to you. The spirit of the wolf makes you a leader of hunters. So eagle, you can move a little more, you can more spry, you can dodge attacks easier. And wolf, it basically gives pack tactics to your allies. Aspect of the beast. At 6th level, you gain a magical benefit based on the totem animal of your choice. You can choose the same animal you selected at 3rd level or a different one. Bear. You gain the might of a bear. Your carrying capacity, including maximum weight load and maximum lift, is doubled, and you have advantage on strength checks made to push, pull, lift, or break objects. That's alright, especially if you don't have a bag of holding. But the advantage on strength checks, I'm pretty sure you already have advantage on strength checks, or it's just one of those things where, since you're a barbarian, you're already pretty strong, Eagle. You gain the eyesight of an eagle. You can see up to 1 mile away with no difficulty. Able to discern even fine details as though looking at someone no more than 100 feet away from you. Additionally, dim light doesn't impose disadvantage on your perception checks, which is kind of cool. If you need to spy on someone, eagle would be brilliant for that. Wolf. You gain the hunting sensibilities of a wolf. You can track other creatures while traveling at a fast pace, and you can move stealthily while traveling at a normal pace. Okay. Kind of like that stalker, kind of sneaky way. Then Spirit Walker. At 10th level, you can cast the Commune with Nature spell, but only as a ritual. When you do so, a spiritual version of one of the animals you've chosen for a totem spirit or aspect of the beast appears to you to convey the information you seek. Kinda one of those communing things. You get advice, kinda reminds me of that one Ancestral Guardian perk. with the ancestors, except this is with one of your animals. Then, Totemic Attunement, the last one. At 14th level, you gain a magical benefit based on the totem animal of your choice. You can choose the same animal, you can choose the same one, or a different one. While you're raging, any creature within 5 feet of you that's hostile to you has disadvantage on attack rolls against the targets other than you or another creature with this feature. An enemy is immune to this effect if they can't see or hear you, or if it can't be frightened. Which I think is amazing. With the bear one earlier, this one, I think that one and this one go really well together, considering you take half damage to everything but psychic. And since you're the barbarian, you're meant to take hits and deal them back, so it's pretty good. Then there's Eagle. While raging, you have a flying speed equal to your current walking speed. This benefit works only in short bursts. You fall if you end your turn in the air, and nothing else is holding you aloft, which is okay. Like, if you really need to hit someone in the air, it's there, but it seems kind of situational to me. Then Wolf. While you're raging, you can use a bonus action on your turn to knock a large or smaller creature prone when you hit it with a melee weapon attack, which is good, which is cool. But I think Bear here is kind of the best one of the three, you know, for this one. Since it makes you the attack target, and since you can take it, it's just going to be there for you to kind of take the hits so no one else has to. But with that, that's really all I have. I hope you liked the video. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll see you all in the next one. Stay frosty, my friends.